What's up, everybody? First Golficity Live of 2018. Man, Mike, I'm psyched. We got some big stuff coming. We hit this first podcast of the year. It was our 200th episode. We're doing a big giveaway for that. I want to talk about that in a minute. But first, what's up, Mike?
Same old, man. Just another Tuesday, right? So, it's warmed up. It's nice heat wave here in the Northeast. I think it was like 35 degrees today, which, we'll take. I don't even think I wore a jacket today. I was just so excited, to be somewhat warm. But, I think we're back into the warmer climate here. At least I hope, which means that we can maybe get over to the range. There are some ranges that are open. I passed by. It says range open despite the snow on the ground. I'm looking to escape in the indoor simulator soon. I still want to do that, man. I still want to get in there and play like a round every week or every other week with you, with someone else, just to keep it going, right?
Just to keep that swing working, stay loose. Absolutely. I love that we're talking about like 39 degrees being a heat wave. It's been so ridiculously cold. As we're just doing this, I'm just going to put a comment up for everybody who's watching with this giveaway because I want to make sure everybody sees this and gets a chance to get involved. Let me just kind of see if I can pin that there. I'll pin that to the top. By the way, we want to hear from you guys, so comment, join the discussion because we do read those as we're doing this, and we'll throw some of those up on the screen as well. We've got a couple of news topics we want to talk about. We want to talk about what's going on with Golficity. So the big thing being our 200th episode of the Golf Podcast just dropped this past Sunday. Amazing that we've been doing this for as long as we have. 200 just kind of snuck up on us. And it was a fun episode. You and I went back. We went through some of our favorite interviews, talking to Gary Player, David Ledbetter, some of our favorite interviews, as well as some of our favorite moments from the show. And just to kind of celebrate that and give back, we're doing what we're calling our 200 for 200 giveaway, which is what I just threw in the comments down there. And you can click that. It's what we're going to be doing is giving away a $200 shopping spree to PGA Superstore. And it's free to enter. There's a number of different ways you can jump in and you can enter that. So that's been a fun one, Mike. I think we've got like 160 entries so far. We're going to run that for the month, and we're going to draw the winner at the end of the month on January 31st. So I'm excited to finally, get somebody picked and get that out there. And we're going to be doing a lot more giveaways like that this year. We're talking about with our YouTube channel, we're going to be reviewing more products, and we're going to give them away at the end of that. So big stuff. I mean, exciting, fun stuff. We're shooting another vlog episode and a couple of product reviews this week, right?
Yeah, we're going to be over at the PGA Superstore this week because the Cobra F8 comes out. That driver is a driver I've been looking to get my hands on. Being in the market for some new clubs this year, I'm excited about that. We're going to check out some of these Bomb Tech driver, 3-wood, and hybrids that came in. I keep looking over at all this golf equipment here in my office, just looking at what we're going to test out. But yeah, we have a couple of great reviews. I'm excited for that. And as soon as you know it, 2 weeks from tomorrow, we're flying out to Orlando for the PGA Super Show. So, for the merchandise show, excuse me. So, hey, between, the products we're going to find out down there, I'm excited to go down there just to see products that we don't normally see in the store. New stuff coming out and to get my hands on some things. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, there's certainly no off season, right? But I tell you what, that's one thing that I've heard. This is our first time you and I are heading down to the PGA Show, and the one thing that I constantly hear people saying is the word that a lot of people use is overwhelming the first time you do it. How much is there? How big this show is? So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We're going to be shooting a bunch of video. We're going to do some live on our Instagram. We're going to be obviously, putting some stories together to show you guys as much as we can while we're down there, and then we'll do a recap, and we'll even probably do a podcast when we're down there. But yeah, it's just exciting. I feel like on top of that, it's kind of like we're entering driver season, right? So we got the Cobra F8 we were talking about. We've got the M3, the M4 is coming. The Callaway is going to be releasing the Rogue as a follow-up to the Epic. So we're going to try to test all of these things out, which I'm definitely looking forward to doing. And even some of the quote unquote smaller manufacturers, we've got the Bomb Tech Grenade 2, which we're going to test. So lots of really cool stuff. Like I said, it's driver season, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I know we're going to talk about that M4 a little more in detail after what we saw last week, right?
Oh my God, I know. I can't wait to get into that and get your take on that. So like I said, join the conversation, post your comments below, and then we'll get involved with those there. But yeah, let's hop right into it because I think myself and pretty much anybody else who was watching last Sunday when we saw Dustin Johnson nearly hole out on a 433-yard hole-in-one. Mike, let me put this image up because this is ridiculous. Remember, 433 yards. This is where DJ's ball ends up.
Incredible.
And that thing, and you can't appreciate too much the line from that, but that thing was tracking right at that hole, and it just checked up. And look, I know people are saying things like it was downhill, and okay, he had a 12-mile-an-hour wind at his back. Man, come on. I thought about those same conditions. If I had those same conditions and laced into that ball, I think I'd be happy if I could put that ball out 300, 320. You know, you drive the ball further than I do. Maybe you put out 325, 340. I mean, that's a huge drive.
Right.
But 433 yards, come on. We're not talking about, he wasn't teeing off in a hurricane. You know?
Right.
So there's just no way.
No, there is no way. I mean, it's funny because not only did he put it 433 yards or 432 and a half yards, whatever it was, it was accurate. It was dead accurate. It wasn't like 20 yards left with that kind of distance or that type of power. It was right there.
Dead at the pin.
Yeah. In fact, he told his brother Austin, I don't know if you read this caption today, he said to him before he pulled the flag out, he said, hey, AJ, Austin Johnson, hey, AJ, be careful pulling that pin out. Like, don't touch it, you know, don't go near that ball. I mean, it wasn't that close where it might have hit it, but, you know, I think walking up to it, he said it to him because it must have looked closer than it was, but still, I mean, unbelievable. Probably one of the best shots I've seen in a long time and might go down as the best shot hit on tour this year. Unless someone holds out.
And the season just started.
Exactly.
I think so. I think that's going to be one of those shots that we're replaying when we're recapping the season, you know, in December. That's one of the shots that everybody's going to be talking about without a doubt. And, you know, the thing that's so crazy is it wasn't a fluke either. He was doing that all week. If you were watching, there was, I think it was Friday, there was people on the green putting, and he rolled it right up to them.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, the caddy jumps out of the way. It's like, here it is. But he was just on. He was lacing the ball all week, but all parts of his game really were working. And when that happens, the reality about Dustin Johnson is that he's just unstoppable when that's going on. I mean, proof is that him beating the field by as much as he did and the strength of that field. I know Spieth had that one bad round, but then he started to string some great rounds together. John Rahm, same type of thing. I mean, the guy puts together a really good, 4 days, and he's in second by, left in the dust. But that's where I start to see, like, if somebody like DJ can stay healthy and his game can stay on like that, you got to say he's got to be able to put together 5-6 wins this season. I mean, we saw him talking recently about, seeing that he feels like he can match the record for most wins in a season, and get there to 9. After watching a showing like that, and we're in January, it's hard to debate against that.
Exactly. I love watching that course. I mean, not only for the views and the lush green, Hawaii, everything like that, but that one particular hole, which I love when the guys play, is 18. It's that par 5 where they all seem to get home in 2, and you got lefties. I remember Bubba hit driver off the deck many years ago with that beautiful lefty hitter fade, and I was watching Brian Harmon do it all week with his as a lefty. Just a really cool hole. I mean, everything. There's a par 3 in that course which I love. That's a bucket list course for me for sure. I know it's on a lot of people's bucket list, but what a gorgeous course, and the field, it's always stacked. So.
It is. And it's always one of my favorite tournaments. Not only that, because it's the break and you're finally back and we get to watch it. But I'll tell you what, that's a track that I would love to play someday. Because now this week, they're moving to the Sony Open. Everything gets a little bit tighter. It's a little bit harder to hit the fairways. But there, I mean, with those big wide open fairways, that beautiful backdrop of the Pacific Ocean there, I tell you what, that's on my bucket list of courses to play for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. Sure. So now the tour stays in, obviously in Hawaii for another week, and then we move into the Sony Open. And the big news coming out of that, you got Justin Thomas is going to be trying to defend his title there, which arguably if he's going to do that, he's going to have to go through Spieth, who is playing well right now, and JT was not playing that well just this past week, but. The big news coming out of this is that we're going to see, at least temporarily, Bones back on the bag. As it turns out, Justin Thomas regular caddy Jimmy Johnson, he's out with a foot injury, so Bones is coming in to fill his place. So what's your take on that? I mean, I'm interested to see this.
Yeah, it's just it's new advice from a different person. I mean, nothing against Jimmy. I mean, he's an excellent caddy, obviously, that we've seen, but Bones is Bones, you know? I mean, think about all those wins with Phil and the major wins and that guy's knowledge. Even as a reporter, you can hear it, the way he talks about the game, the way he talks about guys' shots. He knows his stuff, you know, and he might be one of the best to do what he did, you know, as a caddy. So, you know, I'm excited to see it. You don't know which way it's going to go, if the two of them are going to jive well enough, or if, you know, it's going to work out, you know, beautifully. But to have Bones on the bag would be great. I mean, I reached out to him for the Pro-Am at Bay Hill, but he was unavailable, so I'm stuck with you. So, you know, but, you know, I think it should be fun to watch for sure. That's going to be the big story.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Just having that much experience on the bag. And look, I know it's a temporary situation. He's not going to be ditching Jimmy anytime soon, especially after the season that he had with him last year. And I don't think Bones has any real intention of going all the way back into it. He's got a really good gig right now, you know, reporting from the sidelines with Golf Channel. So regardless, though, anytime you see this type of stuff, I like this early season. It's kind of relaxed. We haven't really kind of hit the stride yet where we're starting to lead up to the Masters. But we saw a lot of caddy shakeups in general. Another big one was with Rory announcing that he's going to have his buddy on the bag for the whole year. That was another temporary thing, but now he's keeping him around for the whole season. And there's the opposite. You know, here's a guy who's coming in without the experience. You know, Bones is years and years of experience. Here, Rory is kind of ditching experience more so for that unquantifiable mental piece where he's just going to have somebody there who's keeping him calm, keeping it relaxed, and kind of letting him focus. So I'll be interested to see, because Rory's coming after that green jacket hard.
Oh, big time. Big time. I know that's on his mind first and foremost. But let me ask you a question regarding that. If you're Bones, okay, I mean, what do you think the tougher job is?
As far as caddying or being an announcer on the sideline?
Because think about it. I mean, when you're working with the Golf Channel and you're on the sideline, you're traveling every week. You're there every week. Phil's schedule, Phil wasn't playing every week, so there was off weeks. So there was a little bit of, you know, it was easier a little bit there. But, you know, what do you think is easier? What would you rather do? You get your pick of career right now. You caddying for an elite player, or are you working right inside the ropes as the premier reporter, you know, analyst?
I got, you know, just me, I like to talk. I like the,
so
I
that's
like
what
the analyst position. I think I'd do that first, you know. But yeah, it is two different things. I mean, Bones, obviously, money's not going to be an issue. That's not going to be the driving factor. I mean, he was on the bag for 41 of Phil's wins, so I'm sure there's banked plenty along the way. But these guys have a competitive nature too. They just like the playing pros. They want to win. They want to have that on their what do you call it? Their resume, so to speak. So I'm sure there's a certain aspect of that. I'm sure he'll be happy just to even be back at it for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, if JT misses the cut, you might see Bones in the booth on Saturday. But if he wins, does he cut him in on the prize money? I'd say, of course.
Oh, he's got to.
He's got to. Sure.
Yo, let me ask you this. Just kind of, we were just mentioning the Masters. Who's your very early January pick to win this thing?
Well, that's a good call. I'm going to say Ricky. I'm like a silent sleeper, you know, like I know he's hungry for a major. I got to think, you know, I know JT is too, and his game is definitely appropriate for Augusta. But we've seen Ricky play well there, I think, many times. Mm-hmm. You know, everyone's going to be jumping on Jordan because of his experience. You know, he had a win followed up by a second. They're 2 seconds, right? Yeah. I think so. You know, it's so. I mean, that field, it's so hard to pick. But maybe I'm just leaning more towards who I want to see. You know, in my head, but. Who knows?
I'm just thinking right off the bat, like fantasy and some of the salaries. I think you're going to see Spieth heavily weighted because, like you said, his experience there and his ability to win there. I think you're going to see last year the heavy favorite was DJ, and I think that's going to be something that comes to fruition again. Depending, I mean, there's still a lot of time between now and then. Like I said, it's a very early prediction, but with DJ, honestly, if his game is on, with his distance. We've seen before 2 times where Bubba has taken home the green jacket because of his ability to shorten that difficult course. And if DJ can do that, I mean, that there's no doubt in my mind that's an advantage there. But it's got to see, like, you got to understand, he's not just all raw power game. I know we talk about his raw power, but you look at some of his finesse, some of the shots that he hit out of greenside bunkers and things like that were just impressive. And if he can keep that up, I think you're going to see DJ coming in there as a one of the top favorites without a doubt coming into Augusta this year. Plus, he's going to have a little bit of redemption. Wanted to get that story back after last year with the injury.
Yeah, exactly. And I heard today Tiger was already they already put him in as a 15-1 at the Masters. So
Wow.
I don't get that really yet, but
That's a lot of respect right there.
that's a lot of respect for sure. But the definite 1-2-3 punch is, I think, in order is Dustin Jordan, very close, very very close. Tough to pick which is 1-2 in my book, and then I think Rory right behind him as the 3.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, I know we can't go too long because we've got a podcast to record tonight, so let's just talk really quick. One big thing, equipment, like we said. We got a lot of stuff coming out. It's a lot of things we're going to review. You mentioned in our Facebook group the other day that 2018 is going to be the year of playing equipment for your game. There's a shot of you going through all that.
There's the lab right there.
I think you got more hats than you got clubs, but
I have a hat problem, but
I love the lab. So tell me about it. What you're thinking this year?
You know, it's interesting. I mean, Sonny at the Golf and Body, the club fitter. Thanks again for that, Sonny and Woody. That was great. They fitted. He told me that I should be playing more of the 3 and the 4 iron, and I've never played those. I've played 3 and 4 hybrids. So I'm going to give these Bomb Tech hybrids a chance when we test them out. I'm going to see, what they're like. I'm going to match them up against my 3 and 4 iron that I have, and just see, which route should I go. Should I? Because ultimately, I'm going to pick up that the new set of clubs that Pete's fitted me for.
Yeah,
I think I'm going to treat myself to either those or something very similar. But when I do rebuild, I just want to see what is it that I should have in the bag. And I'm looking at the clubs now. That's why I'm looking away from the screen. But from driver down, my driver's old. I'm going to try this Grenade. I'm going to try a bunch of others. Like I said, I'm going to try hybrids and see if I still want to keep them. I've had a lot of success with them, so I'm sure I'm going to keep them. These ones look a little bit shorter than the ones I was playing, so I'm interested to see how those are. And I think I'm going to give up on the irons. I think I'm going to try to play something that's more appropriate for my game, like I just mentioned. And my wedges are brand new from Bridgestone. I really like them. And the putter seems all right. So, I think it's just the process of figuring it out at this point. And then I have about 3 months to go here before we really get out there. So.
Well, the reality is, after going through that fitting that we did with Pete's Golf, it's almost you can't go back because you just know that you're working against the grain, so to speak, when you're not playing with the right equipment. So I totally understand that sentiment of saying like it's going to be the year of playing the right equipment for your game. So great stuff. I'm going to be making a driver decision, I think, soon, hopefully by early spring. I still a couple more that I want to test. There's a couple of these ones that are coming out that I want to look into a little deeper, but that's a big hole in my game right now that I'm underutilizing. So I'm looking forward to checking that out and giving that a try. But yeah, anything else you want to jump in there with, Mike, before we wrap it up?
No, I mean, we have so many things going on. All I want to say is if you haven't seen them, you have to check out those recent vlogs we did. So much fun. I love doing them. And I know Friday we're going to do another one, like we said, PGA Store. But you know what? A lot of fun. Make sure you bring your A game that day because we're going to put that Cobra through the ringer. No doubt about it. Yeah. So everybody listen, make sure you check out, go to golficity.com/200, get your free entry in to win that $200 shopping spree. Because if you're refitting, that's going to go a long way towards a new driver, a new set of irons, whatever it may be, a great putter. So we're going to be giving that away soon. Also, make sure you're following us on Instagram, Snapchat, and the great thing about this giveaway is one of the ways you can enter is by following us there. So it kills 2 birds with 1 stone. You're going to want to follow along because when we hit the PGA show in a couple weeks, you're going to get all that behind the scenes stuff. We're going to be putting those in the stories, and you'll be able to see that there. So make sure you check that out. Also check out the podcast, which, by the way, we just got on Google Play as well. So we're kind of rolling it out everywhere. We've been on iTunes for years, but now we know a lot of you guys are listening on different platforms. So we're on Spotify as of 2 months ago, and we're on Google Play as of a week or 2 ago. So make sure you check those out. We've got a great interview coming up this week, which we're about to hop off and record right now. And then we'll check in with you live in another week. All right.